G'day, it's Justin Hock here from RightSource, indoors again, just doing some more videos. Today, it was a little bit of a discussion. I've done a video before about what accounting software package you should use, and today I wanted to take a little different spin on that and I suppose talk it through when I would recommend Xero to a business. It tends to be, I suppose, the accounting package of choice at the moment, especially for a small business in terms of, well, a lot of people are on it. Well, and I thought I'd just go through the things that I think Xero does well, and probably one thing at least that I think you should be aware of when you are taking Xero, just to be aware of when you're implementing it. So when would I recommend Xero to a business? Okay, well, the first aspect of Xero that I think works really well is its integration into other apps and other software packages. So where a business has something like Shopify, or they have Stripe that they're taking through their websites or website sales, and they need integration into a software package or an accounting package to do their accounting, because the package they're using doesn't have accounting already. That's where Xero does that very well. So with any integration of different packages into each other, it's never simple. So I would never say it's, oh yeah, just press a button. But I find in working with Xero, in doing these things with those packages or the web portals, it is normally a very straightforward process. And if you set it up properly to start with, it then works very seamlessly for the business ongoing. So, and it can actually handle quite a bit of volume as well. So that's probably one aspect where if someone has an operational system that doesn't do the accounting for it, and they need to plug into an accounting system to do things like their BAS and their reporting and their payroll, Xero is very good at doing that, and probably better than most products on the market. The next area where I think Xero is quite good, and yes, surprisingly, is in the reporting aspect. Now, Xero has a lot of standard reports like all accounting packages do, a lot of standard reports as like a P&L, balance sheet, whatever. But what Xero I think does quite well is allows you to both set the system up in a way that allows standard reporting to give more meaning to the business, but also the tools within Xero to adjust that reporting are very intuitive and very simple to use, and so it allows you to create reports for the business that are more meaningful for the business in a standard sort of way without having to dump stuff into Excel and have different reports everywhere. It can all get done in the system. Even to the fact that some of the financial statements that some smaller not-for-profits might need, a fair chunk of that work could actually get done within Xero, which is quite good. The last sort of thing about Xero that I really like, and this is probably more from a governance or an accounting or business improvement point of view, is the audit trail. Now, what I mean by that is Xero captures very well and allows you to see very well in terms of transactions, who's entered it, who's approved it, who's changed it, when it was approved, when it was changed, and that type of stuff. Now, where this is very useful for me when I'm working with a business owner or with a team that's operating the finance side of a business, is that where something's gone wrong, we can go back, and quite often when that thing goes wrong, people will say, oh, it's the system's fault, something went wrong in the system. What we can actually do with that sort of documentation of how things have happened is we can go back through Xero and go, well, this is the steps that happened, this is what went wrong. And quite often you'll find it's not just the system, it's potentially the way someone's interpreted the system's working and what they've done. And it's then being able to isolate, well, that's what went wrong, and either fix the way the system's working or fix the way the process is working so it doesn't happen again. So it allows you to clean up your processes in a very objective way, rather than being accusatory, say you must have done it or the system's wrong, and never actually getting to the bottom of it. So that actually adds a lot of value, and something Xero does very well. If you are using Xero though, there's one, and it goes for a lot of the online cloud systems, it's something you should be aware of, that as you grow you might want to move off the system. So Xero might be great for where you are now or for the next 6, 12, however long. But at some point, if your business is growing, you might actually get to a point where you want to move to a system that is more tailored to your industry, more specific, or has more capacity. And at that point, you'll have all your data on Xero. Now, Xero will allow you to export a lot of that data. The thing that is harder to do is with all the scanned documents. So if you use Xero to scan all your documents in, all your supporting information, and that's your repository for all that data, when you move to another system, it is actually not simple to get that information out of Xero or save it. So there's two options that happen here. One, that just means you need to keep your subscription to Xero going for the period that you need to keep those source documents, which, I mean, you can cut back potentially on the amount you need to pay Xero, but that subscription would need to continue. You need to maintain it to maintain access to those older documents. The other way you can do it is build into your process that when you are scanning documents into Xero, that you still keep a copy saved somewhere else of that document and make sure that that is there as an archive, so that if one day you do want to unsubscribe from Xero and not have to repay a fee to access those documents, you do have them stored somewhere else. Now, there are other processes you can do to manage that, but it's just something to have in mind of if you do exit Xero, that is probably the one thing. And it's the same for a lot of the cloud-based systems. Sometimes it's hard to get that data that's in the cloud down and stored in a way that you can access it. So that's a bit of a discussion about Xero and why I recommend it, and one of the things maybe to just keep in mind as you're looking at it. Thanks for joining me today. There's a lot of, as I said, there's another video we've done in terms of selecting the accounting systems, but also other videos we've done in terms of how you manage your accounting as a business and some business management ideas that you might like to have a look at as well. So please feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. It's Justin Hogg from RightSource.